Okay, start.
Hello, good morning teachers. I'm Ashraf Skada, and my teammate Sholihin. Today we'll be talking about intelligent political supply dispenser. So we'll be covering on the introduction, aim of project, system overview diagram, hardware and the software part. So for the introduction part, according to the international Asian market survey, among 11 Asian markets, Singapore was ranked 4th for the Singapore platform with a score of 95.1, which is higher than the middle score of 82.7%. The top 5 components are stated above: surgery charges, room and board, prosthetic, medication and drugs, and also diagnostic procedures. On top of that, AON also said that hospital operating costs have significantly contributed to the rising costs. So hence to curb the rising costs, we would like to introduce the medical supplies dispenser. Here is the survey data that we have collected before at the start of our project. So the aim of the project is to ensure continuity of the medical supply usage, as currently for the nurses they have no proper SOP to retrieve their medical supplies, and also to promote efficiency, promote productivity and health of medical supplies. So for now we are targeting the healthcare industry, but it can be used in other industries such as construction industry, marine industry, and also maybe chemical industry for their PPEs. So the system overview diagram, how does it work? So there's a host PC. The host PC contains of the user with the staff and the admin, and the barcode scanner database and the email notifications, and also the cabinet, the dispenser. The dispenser will consist of the TFT display, Mario, which is running standing alone, Solana lock, and the buzzer. This cabinet is portable as it can move around freely, and both of it will be connecting through the router wirelessly. So the hardware part we are using Mario, which is running standalone. All the codes are already deployed inside. Power bank, TFT displays, barcode, Solana lock, and the circuit. This circuit is for you to have a choice to whether you are wanted to use. There's alternative of the power supply. You can use a power bank or a main supply. For the power bank, it can be used when there is a power outage in the hospitals, or maybe when there's high volume of patients and you need a cabinet to move around in between wards. And also the buzzer. So this is the TFT software that I used to design the TFT. Here are some of the TFT commands. The instruction format will be as shown: header, EE, followed by the instruction, command parameters, and the end of frame. So for example, you want to print screen, your header will be EE, your instruction will be B100, followed by the 0001, which is screen 1, and also the end of frame. So if you want to update the touch control display, the instruction will be B110, followed by the screen ID, control ID, and also the ASCII value. 323230 will be 220, and followed by the end of frame. So for update text, there's two types. One is host user input, whereby you send a command to display in the text box, and the other one is you key in through the keypad. So this is the TFT skills on the for the project. Screen 0 will show the total quantity of the items inside the cabinet. Followed by screen 1 your ID, screen 2 stock up or retrieve. Stock up, once after every stock up, you need to confirm the number that you have keyed in. So any quantity that you have keyed in on the stock up page will appear on the confirmation page. Same goes for the retrieve. This is the flow diagram. Start idle screen 1. Before you go to screen 2, it will check the database and also the user that key in for the user key in ID. So if the user key in ID is telling you the database, it will jump to screen 2. If not, it will just remain on screen 1. Then for screen 5 and screen 6, after you press confirm on screen 6, it will check with the cabinet. If the user presses the items more than the number of items inside the cabinet, it will move on back to screen 5. If the user key less than the number of items inside the cabinet, it will jump back to screen idle. So if for any of the states, if there's inactivity for more than 60 seconds, it will jump back to screen 0. This is the state transition diagram. Top level baseline consists of message sending loop, data retrieve loop, serial communication loop, stop loop, event structure, and also the state logic loop and the action keys. Event structure you are using is dynamic event structure. You will only activate when the user event at the TFT. Serial communication loop is communication between Mario and the TFT, and can be controlled by the host PC to control the process. Data receive loop is at every startup of the Mario, you will receive the data from the host PC, and the loop, this loop will only be waiting for addition or deletion of staff ID. Action engine created. Initialize to open connection between Mario, product native. So for this, on the product, the user key will be stored in the AE, and also will display the stock up or retrieve confirmation page. Confirmative. So if you enter more than the number of items inside the cabinet, it will go to false, your text box will blink, and also it will show invalid entry. So if you enter the number of items less than the number of items inside the cabinet or equal to, it will minus off accordingly. This will check all the Boolean status. If all of it is true, the door will be unlocked. STM server data. This is at the end of every transaction. It will send your staff ID, stock up or retrieve status, all your product quantity and your product ID to the host PC to enter in the database.
So I will be doing more into the database part. I will be using a LabVIEW Connectivity Toolkit 2017, XAMPP MySQL for the database, and Universal Data Link to communicate between LabVIEW and the database. So this is my state transition diagram. This is the flow chart of the staff part of my program. Once the staff log in, we will check ID with the database. If it is true, they will have a choice to stock up or to retrieve. So this is the flow chart for the admin part of my program. The admin also need to log in. They will check the admin ID with the database. Once the admin ID is true, it will have a admin choice to start or stop the application of the cabinet, to see the history choices, to see the history transaction from the cabinet or the storage loop, and to enroll new staff or new product, or to delete staff or to delete product. Okay, so this is the top level baseline of my program. It consists of event handling loop, state logic, asset action cases, data receive loop, and system action and logic state review. So in the event handling loop, I have created 48 state logic for trigger button. Once the user trigger a button on the front panel, it will enqueue the state here and will dequeue the state and the state logic below. So this is the shared variable. As we know, the cabinet will be away from the PC. We use the shared variable to start or stop the application on the cabinet, and we also can see the connection status. So this is the event structure. We use it for when we receive data from the MyAdro, it will trigger the user event and we will do the action accordingly. So this is the state logic. Once the user press the button on the front panel, it will enqueue the action cases here, and it will dequeue the action cases on your right side. And in this program, I have created 34 action cases, and the action I have created into the action engine or the shared variable. Some of the action engine also got flag to indicate that the action has already been completed, and the flag also decide which state is supposed to go next. So for this program, I have created 30 states. And the STM data receive loop. This loop will receive data from the MyAdro every transaction happen on the cabinet. So this is the read message and write the meta element to the case structure, and the case structure is to be named with same name as the metadata, so that the data inside will be go to the right destination, and we have returned the data from string and stored the data in this action engine. And once it's received data, it will generate the user event. So this is the database. This is my database schema design, and this is the action engine created. So this is an example of the fetch or get quantity for the database. It get the database from the database table, and using a DB to select data and variant data to data. So this is the update quantity. After it done the action, the quantity then will be updated back to the same table and at the same column. So I'm using a DB to update data. This is the enroll staff AE. This is to insert staff data on the database. And I'm using a DB to insert data, and also created a flag to once it detects that there's an empty state, it will not insert any data into the database. And this is the delete staff AE example. It will delete staff particular from the database. Let's see if the staff resign. And this will be using DB to delete data. And it also have a flag to indicate that if the string is empty, it will not delete any data from the database. This is the user interface. This is the home page of the front panel, where after the administrator log into, they will have a choice that I have mentioned earlier. And after the staff log in, they will also have choices that I have mentioned earlier. So the feature is the barcode scanner and email notification. So the barcode scanner is to stock up. After they scan the barcode, it will appear the barcode scanner. Once the user press enter, it will split up into product ID and stock up quantity, and we update the database. So for it will also minimize human error when they typing the product ID or the stock up quantity. And this is the email notification at the cabinet. From the cabinet, the stock up, the locations at the cabinet, product ID, and the stock up quantity. And this is from the storage room. The difference is only the location in the storage room. So this is the end product of the medical supplies dispenser. The cabinet will be movable outside the ward.
Okay, maybe just show us the next slide. Is this the last slide?
Yeah.
Okay, you can just leave it at this slide for a while. The previous slide.